Last movie to stress me out like that? Uncut Gems, maybe? Hey, what's happening, everyone? Pragmatic Addict here. So I just got done watching Anora. Anora is the new film from acclaimed director Sean Baker. He's done films such as Tangerine, The Florida Project, and this film stars Mikey Madison as the titular character Anora, a sex worker who meets the son of a Russian oligarch and in a whirlwind of madness marries him. But her fairy tale quickly turns into a nightmare when the news reaches Russia and his parents do everything they can to annul the marriage. So I gotta say, I was hooked immediately when this film started. Just following this character Anora, I always love seeing just such an in-depth look behind the curtain at an environment that I'm just completely foreign to, especially when the production of it just has the most impressive, unpredictable, and proper tools and variety contributing to it. For example, I saw this film in a 35mm screening that my local theater was showing. It was actually like one of only 6 theaters in the entire country that were presenting it in that fashion. And Sean Baker actually had a speech before the film, and he stated that Mikey Madison did in fact study dancing for months. She also spent time with the people in the sex work community, just really studied and tackled that nature.
I went to clubs and I was trained by a really amazing dancer based in LA, Kennedy Schneider, who is a fantastic dancer. And she taught me everything from just like basic pole training to like twerking to like club chat.
But also just in typical Sean Baker fashion, following just one of the most original and humane performances and characters that you'll see all year. Like, let's just be real. With not only this girl's story and that in-depth look at that nature, but also this boy she ends up getting involved with. Once he was on screen and we see just minor things about him, you know, like his home, his personality, I was really excited to see the in-depth look at his background as well. It was just the in-depth looks at these two completely foreign lifestyles to me in that Sean Baker fashion that had me hooked immediately. Another thing that I really liked was that these two lifestyles, they are just so adrenaline-inducing and gritty and edgy and unpredictable and even anxiety-inducing that the first act, or maybe even first half of this film, is honestly just kind of a complete high. It's just kind of a rush. It's that party life, the drugs, the sex, again, just the nature of these two worlds just colliding. One where there's this bad bitch from Brooklyn, Anora, who's a sex worker, and the other being this kid from Russia whose money is just this bottomless pit. You know, both of these characters are really young, just kind of unsupervised. And again, it's so rich and in-depth in that Sean Baker fashion that you kind of just have the reaction where it's almost like a contact high from everything that you've been watching from this first act of this film, because it's so relentless with the high of both of these two worlds colliding that I actually ended up catching myself like, wait a minute, I just remembered what's supposed to be coming. And you really do feel like you've kind of officially seen these two kinds of lives and their nature enough, and it just reminds you in a way where you're like, oh shit, we haven't seen the coin flip of these two worlds. We haven't come down from this high yet. All we can do is stick with what we know. This is a Sean Baker film with two very intense Sean Baker-esque lifestyles where shit can just go horribly wrong at any given moment. And, well, thanks to the trailers, we know it's going to. And I will say, when that shit does hit the fan and this high does end, it fucking does. And it doesn't let up. Just like the high that we've been riding up to this point. The specific background of this guy that she's with, and just literally being a girl thrown into what all does end up transpiring, and how unprepared you are for all that it is, just because the whole party that the film has kind of been up to this point relentlessly. It is stressful to say the fucking least. And the emotions and actions that come with this, the consequences, and what may be a very strange thing to hear, but the stunts, for example, that Mikey Madison does in this film, going back to Sean Baker's intro of the film, he also did say that Mikey did all of her own stunts, and with the character's background, all the prepping that she did for this role, as well as being a girl from Brooklyn, I mean, the accent, the slang, the dialogue, while ultimately juggling all of the subject nature that this film is, She truly has proven to be one of the best actresses working today. And honestly, just all of the actors and actresses in this film, everyone put in as much work into this film as the film did itself. I mean, truly the only way I can describe this film is just a riot, an actual roller coaster. I mean, the entire script and performances are cinematic exhaust and intensity, unlike any level I've seen in a film in a very long time. By a fucking mile, I would say. Everyone in this whole movie is just constantly yelling over each other. Everyone's just lashing out at each other in every direction constantly. Everyone's just dealing with the worst of shit and reacting to the ultimate extreme endlessly. There's a lot of personality, a lot of performance from everyone the whole runtime without taking a single breath. Again, I would say that there hasn't been a film that's exhausted me and had my heart racing this much, this long after, since maybe Uncut Gems. Also, the film just takes story points that I think are the most fun, interesting, unexpected. Again, the first chunk of this film is just partying and fucking and getting high. The second half is just honestly non-stop action, over-the-top stunts, violence, and then it kind of turns into this high anxiety, dark comedy about like a missing person. It was just extremely interesting and extremely detailed types of life with the most cinematically and emotionally effective results, along with the most unexpected curveballs. And overall, I am going to give Anora a positive review. I will say, being the best reviewed film that the film has been marketed as, I don't know if this is going to be suited for everyone. Like Uncut Gems, that one got a lot of awards. It was maybe also one of the best films of that year. But for any of those that have seen the movie, whether you like it or not, you know that you needed yourself a few glasses of water after it. But yes, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one very soon. Take care.